Hi everyone, I'm here with Melissa and I'm super excited for her to share her story with you. So tell us, what is your background? Where have you come from? What do you see every day?
My background comes from pharmacy, from working with people that have many ailments, many diseases, and they need help. So they come to me and I'm the person that supplies those needs with prescription medications.
And you found us almost a year ago, last year, and it wasn't like your typical thing of how you would find us. She was actually in another state in North Carolina at a retreat. And tell me, what did people say, or what were people saying to you at that retreat?
I'd have to say one of the first things they said is there's a great chiropractic place that I've heard of in Nashville, Tennessee, and they next said, and they're believers. That was important to me, not just to find somebody who did the adjustments, alignments, but that believed in the healing hand of God as well.
Yeah. And that's so true, that God is the ultimate healer, but we taking care of our bodies, the temple that He gave us, that's something that you've started transitioning into doing. So tell me, what was your life like before getting adjusted and learning some of the things that we were teaching here?
I'd have to say, from personal experience, it would be if I had something that was bothering me, the first thing I do, I'll just get something over the counter to take care of that. And as I've come through this journey with you guys, I've noticed that it's not always grabbing for what's over the counter. It's actually the adjustments and alignments, and when our spine is healthy, the other parts of our body get set in place. So it's nice to actually look at the jug that you have above with all the pill bottles and say, okay, that's full, and why is that full? Those are maybe things that I've filled, prescriptions that I've filled, but however, that's not always the answer. Medication's not.
No. So you've seen your health, and even in your kids' health, they have started to change. What's the the best thing that you've learned or started to notice or started to see that you're just yes?
I'd have to say for them, it's actually their attitudes. I've seen attitudes change, and I'm raising teenagers, and I think some of that has to do with them seeing me get healthy, physically and mentally, but also around the foods that we eat and the choices and the way our foods are prepared and grown. But they've really watched me, and as a parent, that's a huge compliment actually to Major Family Health, or Major Family Chiropractic, that I've learned from you guys, and I've been able to share it with my girls. And
we went on a shopping tour. It was me and then her and her two girls. We went to Whole Foods and teaching about health, wellness, where food comes from, and it was just really, really awesome. And she tells us all the stories about them eating raw brownie balls and apples and avocados, and you're really changing your life, and you're changing it for not just you, but for a legacy that you're leaving for your family. Yes. So if you could tell them anything, leave them with any wisdom from you, what would it be?
I would say for those of you that are on the side of the fence that say that medical care, which again, I believe it's important, being a pharmacist myself for over 20 years, but I think you have to find that balance with that holistic care, and because there is a place for both, but finding the balance within yourself. And I think coming around chiropractic care, at least I can say myself, that I found healing in that, and I really believe that it has to do with the adjustments and the foods that we've eaten, but more the adjustments and the relationship with food and everyday life that makes a difference. So
absolutely, you're so right, and there is a place for both. But so often, and I know you've seen it, is people come in for this medical care, because their lifestyle has been garbage for so many years, and no one taught them or showed them anything on. No one probably ever took them to the grocery store. No one ever really told them about chiropractic or exercising, or they didn't know that there was a way, and they saw that it was too hard. So then they end up here. And so there is a way to have both, but to start moving towards a lifestyle change before we just go grab for everything else. So,
Yeah, and if you don't know, I mean, just tell somebody. That's been the thing for me, is just sharing it. Whether you're a social media person that loves social media, or just the person you run through at the grocery store. Because we all hit the grocery store.
Yeah.
So just share that with somebody.
Yeah.
That you run into.
Absolutely. And you can do that in so many different ways. So make sure that if there's anybody that you want to tell about what it is that we do, know that your words, even if it's not the first time, it could be the second, third, or 3 years down the road, that they're worth it for you to say something to them, and you're worth it to changing your lifestyle every single day.
And every day counts.
Yep.
Every step that you make. So
Absolutely.
make that step.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't even know what I just did, but I know I started stuttering.
No, it was.
But it's true. It's just a step. It's taking a step.